guys, my name is Rachel Brantley, and I am a kindergarten teacher at Sequoia Elementary here in Knox County, and I am going to talk to you about social studies today. So let's get started. Okay, so we are going to do KCS at Home Summer Edition Social Studies in kindergarten today. And if this video is hard for you to understand, you can turn on the closed captions if it's available on your screen or computer or TV. You may also adjust the speed in which it goes so you can slow it down. You can also, in addition, you can watch short clips. I'm going to try to pause throughout so that you can pause it and talk to someone around you, or listen again, watch again, so that you can understand what's going on. You can also have someone watch with you in case you need some help, and you can talk through what we're learning, and stop at your own speed and make sure you're understanding what we are doing. So without further ado, let's get started. Today we're going to talk about state and national symbols. We're going to talk about what a symbol is, and then we're going to pick a few state and national symbols to talk about. We're going to talk about the U.S. flag, the Tennessee flag, and the Pledge of Allegiance today. So what is a symbol? A symbol is something that stands for something else. So your school might have symbols for your school. The flags are symbols. We're going to go through a few different types of symbols you might see here in Knox County. One symbol I know that all of my students always recognize is the Chick-fil-A symbol. There's a Chick-fil-A near our school, and they know that if someone has a cup with this symbol on it, that stands for Chick-fil-A. One that I always recognize is the Target bullseye. When I see this, I know that there's a Target around or that something is from Target. Another common symbol you might see is the Nike swoosh, which is on a lot of shoes or clothes. The McDonald's arches that make an M, a yellow M. The Amazon symbol, I get it on a lot of packages that come to my house. And then this KCS at Home symbols, Knox County Schools at Home, as we've been at home learning for the past few months. So all of these are different types of symbols that you might see as you are driving around Knoxville, Knox County, that you might see at your house, at other people's homes, but all of these stand for something else. So this bullseye for Target stands for Target. It means Target. This swoosh lets you know that is a Nike shoe or Nike clothing. The M's for McDonald's let you know that place is McDonald's. You can read it, you know what it is without having the actual words there to tell you what it is. So one of the United States symbols is the American flag. It's one of the most common symbols. We see it in a lot of places. You can see the American flag at your school. You can find it in your classroom probably, at government buildings, so at the courthouse or any schools, and flagpoles all around. As you drive around or walk around here in the next few weeks, I want you to look and see how many different places you can see the American flag. Now, some really cool facts is that the American flag is also at the North Pole. It's at Mount Everest, which is the tallest mountain in the world, and it's also even on the moon. They took an American flag and put it on the moon, and it's still there today. It's pretty awesome. Now, the flag has not always been around. The flag was created in 1777. That's a really long time ago. And it had 13 stripes. So these 13 stripes, red and white. So let's count them together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There are 7 reds. Let's count the reds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 6 whites. Let's count the whites. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 13 stripes altogether, and the original flag had 13 stars. Can we count the stars? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. The stripes stood for the 13 colonies. So before the United States was its own country, there were 13 colonies, and that's what the stripes stood for. And the stars represented the 13 states. So as soon as the United States became its own country, they had 13 states, and that's why there were originally 13 stars. So the first ever flag had 13 stripes and 13 stars. Now the flag today still has those 13 stripes, but we have 50 stars for the 50 states. And if we go to Social Studies Weekly, we can watch a really awesome video that tells us about our flag.
Our flag has not always looked like it does today. The 13 red and white stripes have been part of Old Glory since 1776, but the rest of the flag has changed over time. In 1777, Congress passed the following, June 14th. Resolved that the flag of the United States be 13 stripes, alternate red and white, that the Union be 13 stars, white in a blue field, representing a new constellation. With each new state, another star was added. When World War II began in 1941, our flag had grown from 13 stars to 48. In 1959 and 1960, Alaska and Hawaii were granted statehood, and 2 new stars were added, bringing the total to 50 stars on today's flag. Now, over 200 years later, the American flag still waves as a symbol of freedom.
So the American flag, the United States flag, originally had those 13 stripes, 13 stars for the 13 colonies and 13 states, but today we have 50 states. If you can, pause and turn and count to 50 for someone near you, and let's think about how many states that is. That's a lot of states in the United States. So the American flag is a symbol of the United States. When you see it, it is supposed to show the United States without having words. The American flag has a great significance to our military. It's a symbol of freedom that brings people together. So when you see the American flag, you should think of freedom and bringing people together in our country. We can show respect to the American flag by making sure that when it flies, it's in good condition with no tears. The flag should never, ever touch the ground. There's a flag code that all Americans, all people in the United States, are supposed to follow to make sure that the flag is always in good condition. And these are a few of the things that you're supposed to do. Make sure it's always in good condition, it's when it's flying, and that it should never touch the ground. We should never let it get tears in it either. We have to take care of our flag just like we take care of our things at home and at school. Now, did you know that the colors on the American flag are also important? The red is supposed to stand for strength, bravery, and victory. So these red stripes stand for that. The white in the stripes and in the stars stand for purity, honesty, and fairness. And the blue stands for vigilance, loyalty, and perseverance. And I hope you've heard that word at school, perseverance, to never give up. These are things that the United States, when they created the flag, and they created the country a long, long time ago, that were very important to them. They were good values that the people who created our country stood for. Strength, bravery, victory, purity, honesty, fairness, and vigilance, loyalty, and perseverance, the biggest things. Now, the American flag is a symbol of America, the United States. However, we also have another symbol for the United States, and it's the Pledge of Allegiance. We say this at our school every morning on the announcements together, and I bet at your school you said it also. So we say the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag to show respect to the flag and also to the United States. So let's say it together. Are you ready? I want you to stand up. When we say the Pledge of Allegiance, we stand up. We take our right hand, so the one that makes the backwards L, the right hand, and we put it on our heart to show that we are showing respect to the flag in the United States. So go ahead and stand up, put your hand on your heart, and let's practice saying it together. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, with liberty and justice for all. Awesome job, guys. That was amazing. I also have another video to tell us about how the Pledge of Allegiance was created.
We're all familiar with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. What does the pledge really mean? It is basically a promise of dedication or faithfulness to the United States. To pledge allegiance to something is to promise your loyalty to it. In this case, you're pledging allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. The flag is a symbol of our country. By pledging allegiance to our flag, you are promising to be loyal to the United States of America throughout your life. The pledge should be recited while standing at attention, facing the flag with the right hand over the heart. Men should remove non-religious headwear and hold it to their left shoulder with the hand over the heart. Anyone in a military uniform should face the flag and remain silent, giving the military salute. The pledge is recited at the beginning of congressional sessions, the beginning of many local government meetings, and often at the beginning of school. Many states have adopted pledges to their own flags that are recited as well, including Ohio and Texas.
Awesome. So the Pledge of Allegiance is another symbol for the United States. So far we've talked about what a symbol is, and it's something that stands for something else. We've identified the American flag as a symbol of the United States, and we've identified the Pledge of Allegiance as another symbol of the United States. Tennessee has its own state flag. So every state in the United States has their own separate flag that stands for their specific state. If you go to Washington, D.C., you can see all 50 flags throughout D.C. But Tennessee has its own specific flag, and you've probably seen this flag out and about around Tennessee. Now, Social Studies Weekly also has another awesome video for us about the Tennessee state flag. So let's watch that first and then go into detail.
You've probably seen the Tennessee flag lots of times. After all, it's been around since long before your grandparents were even born. April 17th, 1905 to be exact. But have you ever taken a close look at our state flag? The flag was designed by Colonel Leroy Reeves of the Tennessee National Guard. The 3 white stars in the blue circle stand for the 3 grand divisions you just read about. The color blue is a symbol of the love we Tennesseans have for our state. The white band around the circle reminds us that even though we live in different parts of our state, we share a common culture. We should always respect our flag and make sure it's displayed correctly. Sometimes our flag doesn't just receive respect, it can also show respect. Have you ever seen a Tennessee flag flying at half-staff on a flagpole? If you see our flag at half-staff, it usually means someone died. This shows respect or honor for that person.
So the Tennessee state flag has 3 stars on it, and those 3 stars stand for the 3 divisions of Tennessee. So Tennessee can be split into 3 parts. We can split it into East Tennessee, where we live right about here, Middle Tennessee, where you have Nashville, and West Tennessee, where you have Memphis in the corner. So for each part of Tennessee, there is a star to represent that. And as we just heard in the video, the circle around the stars show that we are all connected and we all are one together, one group of Tennesseans. Now, in these 3 divisions, they're also separated by landforms. So the Great Smoky Mountains are in the east, the highlands in the middle, and the lowlands in the west. And that's how we get the 3 divisions. Now, for your task today, you have 2 things you need to do, actually 3. First, you need to practice saying the Pledge of Allegiance with your family at home. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to get an American flag, just like this, and you are going to color it. Now, your job is to make sure you color it correctly. So let's remember, what 3 colors are the American flag? Blue, red, and white. And we know that with the stripes, we alternate colors. We alternate red and white. So we go red, white, red, white, red, white, and we go back and forth. If you need to, you can even write the colors to the side so you make sure you color the correct stripe. Now in this box over here in the square, we know that the stars are what color? Great job, they are white. So the stars are white, and then all around the stars are blue. So we're going to need 3 colors: red, white, and blue. And then your third task, though, remember the first task was to say the Pledge of Allegiance. Second task was to color the American flag. And the third task is to color the Tennessee state flag. So I had my students do this pretty much right before we left school this year. This is going to take a lot of red to color, so be prepared to color a lot. And we know that on the Tennessee flag, this is all red. This circle itself is white. The stars are white. And then around the stars is blue. And then there's also this blue stripe right here. Awesome job, guys. So I hope that in today's lesson, you learned what a symbol is, which is something that stands for something else. You identified maybe some symbols you might see in your community. You learned about the American flag and how it's a symbol for freedom in the United States. You recited and practiced the Pledge of Allegiance. You identified and discovered the Tennessee state flag and what it represents, and that you are going to do your task of coloring both the American flag and Tennessee flag, practicing that Pledge of Allegiance with your family. I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you later.